and welcome to CX Today. I am Sandra, I'm a technology journalist, and I'm delighted to be joined by Antonio Gonzalez, Senior Manager of Industries Research and Insights at Talkdesk. It's great to have you join us, Antonio. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks. Really appreciate you having me here today. I'm really excited to dive into this conversation.
Fantastic. Likewise. So we have a really interesting report to discuss in today's session, and it is one of the latest Talkdesk research reports. And it focuses on the future of AI in 2022, particularly the AI maturity in the contact center. So Antonio, we've seen that contact center leaders are aware of the importance of AI, but the report shows that they have been slow to implement it. So could you tell me what exactly is curbing those AI ambitions?
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic that we're seeing. Leaders across the board recognize AI is important. They see the risks, clear risks of not using AI, of risk to customer satisfaction and lessened efficiency in customer service. And we're actually seeing continued investment in AI in the contact center. But interestingly, we actually saw a slowing and even a reversal in the scope of AI investments for many organizations. To me, I think what that showed is that they're not necessarily pulling back from AI or reducing their AI investment, but pausing and maybe consolidating their investments and focusing them in a way that they might not have been doing in the past. And I think from my takeaway, having looked into this and looked into some of the barriers that leaders are encountering, I think what we're seeing is that the initial enthusiasm around AI investments and around all of the potential use cases for AI is coming up against a recognition of the need to be balancing these long-term visions for AI with thinking about practical applications that can really have a meaningful return in the organization today. Um, I think for AI to really be working, it has to have some quick wins for leaders to really be able to align around. And I think leaders are where they're at right now is just pausing their marathon and just taking stock really of what fundamentally they should be focusing on, fixing today and improving today that can lead them towards a longer term vision for the future.
Right. The report also reveals that there is a number of barriers to AI maturity. So which ones were at the top of the list?
Yeah, so I grouped the barriers that arose through the research in three main categories. The one that came up first and foremost was concerns around data security, IT infrastructure limitations. The second really was oriented around leadership and leadership alignment, going to what I was just alluding to a little bit in terms of really leaders struggling to align around what ROI and business outcomes they should be looking to pursue with AI, and really just what applications they should be focusing on, as well as just resistance to applying AI in parts of the organization. And the last category of barrier is just limitations and gaps in the availability of staff needed to be implementing, maintaining, and continually updating the AI models as well. Implementation of AI and maintenance requires, of course, just traditionally has required highly technical, frequently difficult to find, and software engineer, data engineers, and machine learning experts. And I think in this moment, it's even harder to be finding talent across the board. And so organizations are coming against a recognition that their investments in AI also frequently are necessitating a complementary investment in people who may not be as easy to be bringing on board.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree there. a few main aspects of when it comes to reaching AI maturity. But I just wanted to go back to AI implementation, and it sort of comes with a certain maintenance cost. So, for example, in form of dedicated IT teams. So, how do talent gaps affect AI deployment? What is the link between AI literacy and agents?
So AI ultimately has the potential to be significantly improving the lives of agents. It's, I think, often traditionally thought of as having the potential to take some of the tasks away from agents, but I think there's an increasing recognition of what benefits are going to in turn return to agents because of the some of the workload that's being taken off of them, some simpler, more complex inbound contacts that are able to be addressed by AI systems, but at the same time, for interactions that agents are going to be solving for, they're in turn also going to be beneficiaries of AI that's going to enable them to be able to speak more directly to the individual nature of customers' needs and speak to the individual customer as well. So I see that ultimately we're going to see an uplifting of agent skills across the board, first in customer service and being able to enable each agent to be effectively the best agent that they can be. I think everybody has had a customer service experience where they've spoken to an agent and come away out of it with just feeling like they had a really pleasant interaction and a pleasant conversation, and not necessarily a customer service interaction. And I think it's entirely possible to use AI to enable anyone to really connect to the customer that they're speaking to and really have that personal touch. So on the one hand, agents are going to be huge beneficiaries of this, but there's also another complementary role that we see in actually agents getting more involved in the maintenance of the AI models that they're beneficiaries of. We're actually seeing that customer service leaders are actually recognizing that contact center agents are increasingly capable of using and getting value out of AI systems. And while only 15% of organizations today use contact center agents in this way, we anticipate that increasingly agents themselves are going to be involved in AI maintenance and updating. This is going to be, I think, hugely reliant on the intuition and expertise of agents in being able to update the intents libraries of AI models and being able to update the types of utterances that you might be agents themselves might be commonly seeing with customer service interactions, but that might not be something visible to a traditional AI machine learning expert. So increasingly, we're seeing software vendors making efforts to make AI implementation and maintenance a little bit more user-friendly and simpler, and not necessarily requiring strong knowledge of AI models, but instead being able to more directly draw on the experience and expertise when it comes to customer service and bring that into the AI models.
Yeah. So as AI is one of the most dominant trends in the contact center space, what can companies do to become more AI mature?
Yeah, of course. So I see AI maturity as really progressing along a journey, going from envisioning and applying AI for these specific use cases, some of which, of course, can really significantly transform customer service interactions, but not necessarily tied to broader implementations within the organization. Going from these individual implementations and use cases to actually moving towards a place where AI is being rigorously and consistently applied to the organization. It ultimately should be thought of as just another tool in an organization's toolbox is to be able to improve experiences and be thinking about it in just a disciplined and connected way. And I think what organizations really need to be doing is aligning around a vision for the outcomes that they want to achieve with customers and how AI fits into that. And from there, building out a vision for how to apply AI to be meeting these objectives and the investments needed within each department, and thinking through the initial problems and gaps that AI can be solving for today to be practically improving customer experiences, and then connecting that to a longer term vision of how to maybe be transforming and differentiating experiences through AI. So not necessarily jumping straight into the most advanced applications, but thinking about how solving for the problems today will eventually lead them there. And I think that's challenging, especially with AI technology progressing and changing each year. It's hard for leaders, I think, to really keep up with all the potential use cases. And there's a lot of noise out there as well, of course. And so I think one practical thing that leaders can really be doing is just looking at other areas where AI is maybe a little bit more advanced and is having that transformational impact, and thinking about how they got there. So it can be looking at other industries where AI is maybe further advanced, or also other departments outside of customer service, seeing how AI is being applied there in other areas, and how kind of what success stories are coming out of those other departments as well, and being able to circulate that and share it with other leaders to really be aligning.
Absolutely. I think this will be really helpful for companies that are navigating the contact center space while searching for their perfect solution that meets their needs. So I think this is a great place to end this conversation. Thank you so much for joining me today, Antonio.
Of course, it was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And that's it for today. If you enjoyed our conversation, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.